If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and comment on the videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let's go. Hello, Billy Ho here. Week 6 DraftKings final thoughts and wide receivers. I hadn't put out a wide receiver video yet, but I also had some final thoughts. As the week goes on, we always change our minds or get privy to more injury news or stuff. So I think the last video of the week is going to be including final thoughts. And then, we can kind of go over game stacks, and then I'll throw in wide receivers as we're going along. And, that way we killed two birds with one stone, right? All right. Billy Ho Sports is a YouTube channel created by myself. And it's just, I started with PGA content, and I thought I'd go NFL because I love NFL more than anything. So it's been going pretty good lately. So we had one of our members hit a real big $10,000 prize on DraftKings, and he is putting up $250 for a DraftKings free contest. So what you need to do is subscribe to the channel, Billy Ho's YouTube, Billy Ho Sports. And follow me on Twitter at Billy Ho Sports. There's a thread on there. I will leave it in the description of this video. Take you right to where you want to go. You retweet it. If you're familiar with any other giveaway, it works the same way. Retweet the post and then reply with your username. It's not that difficult. DraftKings username. And that way we'll have a way to contact you, because the payouts will be $200 up top to the winner, $30 for second, $20 for third. And we're going to do it Cash App. So it's going to be a completely 100% free contest, invite only to people who have DraftKings and Billy Ho subscribers. So enough of that. We are going to get into this. 11 games on the slate, 4 teams on bye. Stick around. Toward the end, I got a couple of little final thoughts that kind of hit me in the last day or so that might be some pivots off of your main thing. I'm going to really try not to dig too deep into the obvious Buffalo at Kansas City game, because that's obviously where everybody's going to want to go with their quarterback stacks and all that jargon. So let's get into it and take a look at some games. Okay, I am going to go ahead and start with the Buffalo-Kansas City game. And one of my final thoughts on that, which is interesting, maybe a different way to look at it, is I think I'm going to play Mahomes naked. And here's why. Naked means without any pass catchers or corollaries, if you don't already know. So what we do there is I am not predicting, but I am just going to take the chance that he is really spreading the ball around in this game. It's not going to go 4 touchdowns to Kelsey, or, Kelsey's probably going to get his. But if we could keep Kelsey 1 or under touchdowns, I think we'll be in good shape with the naked stack. That way you could save money elsewhere, and Mahomes could throw for 4 to 5 touchdown passes, over 300 yards. Hardman can get one. Sky Moore could get one. Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield could get one. Obviously, Kelsey could get one. Juju could get one. I mean, and Valdez-Scantling, there's a ton of different receivers, if it ends up going that route, that he could get there by himself, but maybe none of the other receivers do. And that might be able to free you up for some other things. And obviously, if you play Mahomes naked, you could probably play both Diggs and Davis as wide receivers on the other side. And then you don't have to worry about paying up for Kelsey or anything else. And you got a good chance to get there crossways. And then you think, well, why would you not just play Josh Allen at quarterback? Well, you can, obviously, but you play Josh Allen at quarterback, then you're looking at playing Allen, Diggs, Davis with no Kansas City run back. So that's the other thought. On to the next one, Arizona, Seattle. I kind of feel about the same way I did earlier this week. I think it's a great spot for Kyler Murray. Now that we know James Conner is out, Eno Benjamin has become everybody's automatic, I think 4,900 or something like that, which is fine because he's good in the pass game and he will probably get enough points to warrant playing him. He might even score a touchdown. But what I think might happen is Kyler may run more in this game because Seattle is so susceptible to the running, especially obviously the quarterback. I mean, we saw what Taysom Hill did last week. He broke off a couple long ones. And now, not saying that Seattle won't, remedy that over the week, because that's, generally what happens when you see major flaws in your defense, you fix them. But Kyler Murray's a different kind of dude. So Benji is probably only five. I think Benjamin's like 5'9", 200. So he's not the between the tackles guy that's going to run all over somebody like Kenneth Walker did last week, or Rashard Penny might have had he not gotten hurt. So wide receivers for Arizona are going to be basically Marquise Brown and Rondale Moore, and that's it. So if I do run Kyler Murray, well, obviously you have Zach Ertz, but I'm talking wide receivers. So Seattle's wide receivers, obviously Metcalf and Lockett dropped his injury designation, so we're good to go there. Metcalf and Lockett have just been all too cheap. So I like them in this spot. Another game, Minnesota, Miami. It looks like I've changed my mind a little bit more on this. The only person I really trust to do much anything is Jefferson. I don't want anybody on Miami's side at all. I don't even know about Mostert. Be honest with you, he may be in play as a cheap running back, but there's so many other cheap running backs that might have more upside. Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, obviously both Evans and Godwin's in play. Pat Freiermuth, the tight end, is out, so you can get Zach Gentry at 2,600. He got 5 targets last week versus Buffalo, so that's the one punt tight end I would probably go with because value opened up. You also have Pickens and Deontay Johnson and Claypool. So there's a whole bunch of wide receivers in this game you could play. I got to feel like that the Steelers are going to be throwing all over the place, probably trying to keep up with Tampa Bay, who's going to be throwing all over the place. So there's going to be a lot of passing on both sides of this game. So why not get on it, right? Well, Fournette's in there too, but he may still catch a lot of passes. But Tampa Bay, I don't think, is a big shutdown team on tight end, so I do like Gentry. Brady at 6,300. Obviously, you're going with Evans and Godwin there. Another game that could be interesting, but I don't know yet what I want to do. Cincinnati and at New Orleans. Both Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry are out, and Chris Olave has not cleared concussion protocol yet. I think if Olave plays, he's obviously the guy. But if Olave's also out, then you have Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway as both cheap options. Andy Dalton's getting the start. I'm sure we'll see plenty of Taysom Hill. We don't know if T. Higgins is going to play or not. He practiced in limited fashion Friday. So I don't know if T's out. I don't think I'll play Chase. I think they should be able to cover up Chase. And like most teams have this year, really. I mean, I'm not saying he ain't due for a blow-up game, but if you look at Jamar Chase, he got that was Pittsburgh. Look at that. If you don't think Mike Evans ain't going off in that game, you know how we do. But 5 for 54, 6 for 29, 4 for 81, and 7 for 50. So those are all well below average games. So this is New Orleans. If he can get over the top, though, we saw both Metcalf and Lockett do it multiple times. So if you want to take a shot, take a shot. But I got another player I'm going to mention here in a few minutes in that price range that I like even better than that. Next game, Baltimore at New York Giants. Obviously, Lamar with Andrews. Bateman is out. So that puts Duvernay square in the crosshairs of my player pool. So if we go here and click on this Baltimore, you can see Bateman's out. Tony and Galladay are both out. Wandale is still questionable, but he hasn't seen action since week 1. So interesting to me. The Richie James and the David Sills of the world don't really excite me a whole lot. But I already got him in this lineup, and this is just a mock-up lineup. So if you want to steal it, good luck. It ain't going to probably win, but I forgot I had it up there, so let's just go ahead and clear that. Darius Slayton, 7 targets and somewhat limited action. I don't know if he played a shit ton of snaps or not, but I think we can find out real quick, actually. Bear with me. New York Giants. There's Slayton. 33 snaps, so not a ton. But he made good on it. And I don't know why he was in such trouble with the coaching staff or whatever this year. But last year he used to catch bombs. I mean, he was that guy you played in Showdown at, you could get for 40, 4K or something, and he'd rip off, 2 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I don't have a problem with playing Slayton. The other guy who got a lot of snaps was this Marcus Johnson fella, who I believe came over from Tennessee last year. And but I don't know how much playing time he'll get this week. He just actually reverted to the practice squad. Let's see, that was the 10th. So I don't know if he's even going to be active in this game. Keep an eye on that. But, that's a so-so game for me. I do like Lamar. So, those cheap run backs, if you don't want to play Barkley, you're in there. But Tony and Galladay both being out is interesting because I really did like Slayton, and I'm glad it worked out that way because I'll play Slayton in some mini stacks anyway. So San Francisco and Atlanta, that was the game I was thinking of. And Deebo Samuel looks like an absolute smash this week at Atlanta in the Dome on the fast track. And I don't see how he can be really super highly owned because you got Kupp, Jefferson, and Diggs. Diggs is going to get a ton of play. Chase is going to get some ownership. I think people will be off the hill, and Marquise Brown still might get some ownership. Evans down at 7, Pittman. So, you can't have all these guys. We've been talking about how ways to save money all week long. So Deebo, odd man out. He could get some more carries in this game. I think with the injuries to the secondary and the defense on San Francisco, they're going to want to try to keep the ball on the ground a little more. So I think Deebo gets, let's see, he's only had a couple of attempts in the last couple of games with Garoppolo in there. But I think he might get a couple more runs, and maybe he breaks one. But I still think he gets his 7 to 10 targets. I think he goes over 100 and a touchdown, be honest with you. I think you're looking at mid-20s. I think he can match Diggs every step of the way, be honest with you. And he's a little cheaper and lesser owned. So I like that. Ayuk is another good price, 5,400, and he is down here. So let's take a look at Ayuk. And, 4 targets last couple of weeks, not great, but he's had 8 in 2 weeks prior. So, somewhat interesting. Maybe some touchdown coming love for him. I think Atlanta is going to offer the easiest defense besides Seattle, obviously, but the easiest defense they've faced since Seattle, obviously. Denver and Carolina are no joke on the road. So Ayuk indoors as well on the fast track. I like. I don't know who to run them back with because I don't know if I fully trust to run London out there. Now with the injuries to like guys like Mosley and other guys, it may give him another shot. But actually, as the final thoughts, if Pitts is cleared and good to go, the hamstring does bother me. I don't know. He says he expects to play, but you could pull a hamstring at any moment, any moment. So tough call there. But 4,200, I think it's worth the risk because nobody's, especially if you see the Q tag, nobody's going to play him. I mean, I think people have exhausted taking shots at him around week 3 and 4 and even 5. So I think this might be one of those weeks where he pays off. And all he needs to do is really get in the end zone, get one of those Seattle games, and get in the end zone. So barring that, this last game I want to talk about before I get to my final thoughts is New York Jets at Green Bay Packers. I find this game quite interesting as Aaron Rodgers is only $6,100, no injury tag, but he's not dazzling anybody. I think he's flying under the radar. He's right at 17 points every game since week 1 when he was awful. But he has a full complement of weapons now, with whatever that means, adding in Lazard, and then he's got Cobb running routes for him, a guy he trusts. So Christian Watson is out. Romeo Dobbs looks good. So he's a no-brainer for 250 and 2, right? So he's gonna get to 17. I think that's his floor. He's gonna throw 35 to 40 times. If he could catch one of these running backs like Aaron Jones out of the backfield for a big one, maybe he gets a TD that way. Or he's got Dobbs and Lazard are my priorities because I don't really see Cobb having that high octane game like he did a few weeks ago. Or last week, I should say. I love Randall Cobb. I'm a big Blue fan. He was like probably one of the best players to ever wear a Kentucky uniform. But 7 for 99 and breaking off 35-yard runs is not him anymore. He's had like both ankles, like high ankle sprains for days in his decade-long career. So the very top of the ceiling is 15, 16 points. Now he has had multiple touchdown games, and he could be a sneaky red zone guy for Randall Cobb. So, okay, I won't completely disregard him because he's so cheap. I mean, you could rotate him, Dobbs and Cobb and Lazard. Lazard at 6K, the most expensive. But actually, now we get down to the nitty gritty here a little bit, and these are just some guys that I'm going to one-off or mini stack. And the first two are Pittman and Kirk, obviously in the Jacksonville-Indy game. They're both the number 1 receivers for each side. They're playing in the Dome. I think Pittman's due for one of those 10-catch, 100-plus yard games, and all he needs is the touchdown to go along with it. He's going to get double-digit targets in this game. They're going to make sure that they don't get their ass ran. He actually missed week 2 in Jacksonville when they got their ass kicked. So he's going to make a big difference in this game. So I'm already going to draft him. Love Michael Pittman this week. Kirk is he's come back down to earth after such a hot start. He did get 6 for 78, 2 touchdowns in the first matchup, but who knows? 5,800 is just too cheap for a good receiver like him. So indoors on the fast track, I think he can get loose too. That's a great little mini stack game. I'm really liking that one. Another mini stack game I was kind of having interest in is going to be down here at Carolina and Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, you can play Cooper Kupp or Higbee are the only two I'd be interested in. I do believe, actually, if this is Cam Akers being out, you've got your Darrell Henderson love at 5,100. And he is a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. He got 0 rushing attempt. I think Malcolm Brown, if he doesn't get any carries, he's just going to be like the third down back. And Malcolm Brown at 4K, he just got signed off the practice squad last week. He's familiar with the Browns offense. He doesn't need that much time to acclimate. So he played last week versus or he hit the active roster for the 49ers game. So he's actually been on the active roster for 2 weeks. He's interesting to me because nobody's going to even think to play him. And he's that guy that can vulture a couple of goal line scores, no problem. And all he needs is 1 at 4K. He'll probably get a half a dozen carries. He could 6 for 30 and a touchdown. 9 points. There you go. But PJ Walker, I think, has the ability to throw a little bit. So both Rondale Moore and Robbie Anderson have a little bit of interest for me. And also I'm going to consider McCaffrey more of a pass catcher this week. I think PJ Walker can swing the ball out of the backfield to him a lot more. So I can see him definitely getting another 9 to 10 targets again and paying off with or giving you a nice floor in the receiving game. And then anything else you get besides that can add to his upside, plus a touchdown or whatever. The Rams defense is pretty solid though. So be on the lookout for that. And that'll do it for this week. Wide receiver and final thoughts. I'm going to probably spend part of today going over some stuff. I'll be in the Discord to bounce ideas off each other. So hopefully next week we'll have some money in the bankroll for another PGA event. And I haven't looked to see who we got, but the preview video will be out soon for the next PGA event. Be on the lookout for that. And thanks for everybody for all the support and watching and retweets and all that good stuff. Appreciate it very much. Let's get these subs going this week. I got a couple of new ideas on how to spread the word, but maybe you guys can help with that too. So get the word out there. It's a free contest. I mean, come on. All you got to do is click the sub. It doesn't cost anything. You don't even have to watch the videos. Just subscribe. We hit 250. We run the contest. Till next time, we'll see you. Thanks for watching.